Coming up on Mountain News this morning, people in our region remain in the dark as power crews work around the clock in the aftermath of powerful winds. And the story is the same for other parts of Kentucky as the entire state works to repair its communities.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
It's 6 o'clock and I'm Dakota. Thanks for waking up with us this morning. Let's head over to Brandon for a look at our quiet forecast this morning. But a quick story this morning. I've already told Brandon about it, but I have not shared it with you all. This weekend I made a mistake, really a bad mistake, really. One, I spent money, and two, I bought something for Winona. It's a toy that hangs from the door and it swings and it's a mouse. And I didn't know it made noise. When I bought it, because I don't read packaging, I just bought it because I thought it was cute. No, because I heard it all night long of her hitting the mouse all night.
I hope you learned a valuable lesson from that.
And you know, I can't tell her to stop because when I do, she just does the opposite. So she learned that from me, really.
Well, you can take it away from her.
No, she already has it, so she already knows she has it. I can't do that to her. I'll just live with it. I'll just live with it.
You know, dogs are usually quiet at night.
Brandon, I don't want to argue with you this morning about dogs and cats. I really don't.
All right, let's get into it this morning. And again, we're going to continue to see, as Dakota alluded to, a fairly calm forecast as we head out the door. Let's go to Jenkins Mountain here this morning, and you'll see not too much going on up there and heading into Southwest Virginia. A little light traffic there, 119-23, but otherwise just a cool morning. Grab a jacket on the way out the door there. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s. Jackson was at 50 just a few minutes ago, but they have dropped into the 40s there this morning. So a normal day to a little extra on your coffee meter, depending on your temperature preference. If you're grabbing a donut as you head out the door, well, it's going to be a nice day for a warm one. It's going to be a nice afternoon for maybe some iced coffee with that donut, because we're going to get into the 70s a little bit later on after a chilly start to the day with a mix of sun and clouds. Dakota?
All right, Brendan, thank you. High winds from Friday night, severe weather affected power grids across the state, including our region. Our Jordan Mullins talked with an official with Big Sandy Rural Electric Cooperative about its outages and how crews are working to restore power.
As winds whipped through the region, many electric companies started seeing heavy damage.
Around 4 o'clock, we started getting some rain and some little bit of wind. It died down, and we thought, man, maybe we've dodged a bullet. But here comes 7, 8 o'clock, we got some monstrous, devastating winds.
For Big Sandy Rural Electric Cooperative, trees fell on lines and poles were snapped.
We've already confirmed over 12 broken poles, and that number is continuing to grow, and it will grow within the next few days as we find more and more.
This caused major outages across Big Sandy RECC's coverage area. At its peak, more than 5,000 homes and businesses were without power. But crews worked tirelessly to keep the lights on.
This morning, our guys worked all night, and this morning we started afresh. And as of now, we're down to 2,600 people without power.
And folks are thankful for the work of these linemen.
They're my heroes. They leave their children, they leave their spouses, and they come out and to restore people, restore people's power, and leave their family to restore families' power.
And with no estimated time of repair, Big Sandy RECC crews will continue their work until power is restored across the region. In Johnson County, Jordan Mullins, WYMT Mountain News.
Kentucky Power is working to restore electricity in homes across the region. Friday's storm knocked out around 18,000 Kentucky Power customers across the state. Communications manager Sarah Nussbaum says the number continues to drop as crews restore power, but some may be waiting until later this week for lights to come back on.
Every situation is different in regards to what the issues are with the outages that we're looking at. I can say that our crews have been out since early this morning and will continue to work on getting everyone restored as soon as possible.
Kentucky Power recommends reporting a power outage via its Facebook page or website. Certain restrictions on vehicles involved in restoring power and clearing debris in Kentucky have been temporarily lifted. Kentucky Transportation Secretary Jim Gray signed the official order on Saturday. The order temporarily relieves commercial drivers from maximum driving times and wait station stops while engaged in emergency response. Well, the order will last through midnight on March 31st. People from 9 states have arrived to the Bluegrass to begin chipping in to restore power to the Commonwealth. Kentucky Electric Cooperatives, which represents 26 co-ops across the state, say as of Sunday afternoon, more than 375 personnel have arrived from 58 sister co-ops. They include helpers from 9 different states. Well, the Wolfe County Search and Rescue Team announced the suspension bridge on the Sheltowee Trace Trail was destroyed by a fallen tree. Members of the team were sent to the area Saturday evening after hikers were reportedly stranded because of the destroyed bridge. Well, they posted on their Facebook page advising people to plan accordingly when hiking on the Sheltowee Trace Trail. They do not expect the bridge to reopen anytime soon. Repairs and cleanup from the severe winds are also underway across south central Kentucky. There are still thousands of people without power in Warren County. Some are still trying to remove down trees and power lines from their yards. Crews from across the country joining Warren RECC to help repair efforts.
I would caution people to understand that this is going to be a multi-day restoration. We have 29 additional crews coming in from different states to help us. So we certainly are working throughout the day, throughout the night, but it's a big storm. It's a big outage. So be patient with us.
Warren RECC says because of the area's resiliency and patience, and we'll get through the aftermath of the storm. Well, with all the damage and power outages going on right now, the Lexington community is still shedding some positive light. Hallie DeVore talked with members of the community about their efforts to help each other during these difficult times.
You know, right now people need just some kindness as we get through this together.
And one of the ways that some Lexington neighbors are displaying kindness is by offering up the little things that those without power do not have access to.
Just be a good neighbor. Offer a cup of coffee and a place to charge their phone, because that's what we do for each other in this neighborhood.
Many Lexington neighborhoods are split, one side of the street with power and the other side without.
A lot of our neighbors don't have power, and really we felt like it could have been us. It could have been any of us. So we just decided to set out this charging block with all the different charging cables and some blankets, and really, if people need, take a shower, wash their clothes or whatever. We just feel really fortunate that we still have electricity, knowing that so many people don't. So we just thought we would share what we had.
Hatton says that with these efforts, he hopes the community can do its best to draw together amidst this widespread damage and restoration.
We do love Lexington. We love our neighbors, and after the lockdown and pandemic, I think we kind of got into a habit of closing in and not reaching out as much. But we've been trying to branch out and get to know our neighbors and kind of be part of more of a neighborhood feel, I guess. So.
And that was Hallie DeVore reporting. The Kennewick community, like many others, has a Facebook page for neighbors to join and share information and photos. The city of Lexington says anyone in need of help related to a medical condition can call 311 to be connected with the Red Cross or put in touch with a referral. More than 7 months following our region's devastating flood, 2 Letcher County churches are partnering to help those still in need. New Freedom Worship Center of Jenkins and King's Chapel Church in Whitco hosted a giveaway during the weekend outside of the King's Chapel Church. Both churches have been serving their communities in this way following the flood, but church leaders knew they wanted to join forces to make an even bigger impact.
I believe we ought to continue as long as we can, and as long as God blesses us, then we're going to bless others. And with people like Danny coming down, it means the world to us. And you know what? We don't ever know when somebody else that's in need of something. If we can do something, I think we need to do something.
The giveaway included food, clothing, space heaters, and even hot meals. Both King's Chapel pastor Frank Adams and Freedom Worship Center pastor Danny Quillen say they hope to partner for more events like this in the future.
Almost 6:10 here on this Monday morning. We'll take a look at UVA-wise, and if it stays stable for a second, we'll see the moon there in the sky. 45 over that way this morning. On campus, we'll look at 31 down the road there in Clintwood, 32 in Grundy, 35 Manchester, 39 Somerset, 35 Middlesboro, 36 Jacksboro, 37 in Harlan, 35 in Ashland, and everybody else is in the 40s this morning. Day planner for today, a warm southwest breeze is going to push us into the mid-70s a little bit later on this afternoon, and we'll see a mix of sun and clouds during the daytime hours. Some stray rain chances come back into play tonight. Dakota?
All right, Brandon, thank you so much. Well, coming up next, President Joe Biden uses the weekend to honor a pivotal moment in the civil rights movement here in the U.S.
Never